you might have just recently done the gradients and custom gradient, I don't know. But picking up from there, I'm going to show you a few more tricks with gradients. I'm going to add a gradient overlay to this, and I also want to have a gradient underneath the roses. You'll see why in a moment. I want my empty layer to come out underneath the roses, so I'm going to hold the command key, the control key on the PC. There it is. I'm going to turn this off for a moment and get a gradient in here, just something. There we go. And now I'm going to turn the roses back on. I'm going to add an overlay to the roses, a gradient overlay. Now, right now, there's this white. And if I change the blend mode to screen, you see a faint image of the roses. There's the gradient. Oops, there's one gradient. There's the gradient I made earlier. I'm going to use a different gradient, though. Let's see. I'm going to use this kind of pink and yellow gradient. And rather than screen, I'm going to hit hard light. See, that I think is a little more interesting. You can change the opacity, which I'm going to do. You can change the scale, which I'm going to do. You can change the angle in here. So you can change the blend mode, the opacity, you can reverse it. The other part that's even more interesting is you can go over here. Now that I have gradient on here, I'm going to go into blending modes of the layer. Now, this is this layer. See, when I pull this over here, I'm not sure if this one, yeah, this one did. It kind of adds some gray. There's an underlying layer. This doesn't do much, but is this? Let's see. So on this one, it's going to pick up on the underlying layer. I'm going to hold the Option key, Alt on a PC. This one doesn't do much, this underlying layer, mind you, which is layer 1 up there. And that doesn't seem to be doing much. Interesting. Oh, wait. Yes, it did. It's more subtle. Let's take it over. Let's see. We bring it back. Let's try this one. Ah, that really does a lot. There we go. So I'm working on the layer itself. See that little icon that comes up? That tells you that you've been messing around with the blend mode. See, I don't really like that, but I should be able to get something happening on the underlying layer. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. It's more subtle. See, it's bringing in that underlying gradient, but you have to really pick and choose how you want that to be. I've got a normal blending mode here. I'm going to change this blending mode to color burn. Well, it's way more interesting, although I don't like the direction. So let's see, soft light, no. Hard mix, whoa, that's really solarized. Hard light. So hard light is what I used, I believe, on this one too. Yes, hard light, hard light. We've changed some blending options here. And so this gives you a whole range of things you can do. I'm kind of curious, bear with me. I'm going to pick out some really garish blending and make the bottom layer, change the bottom layer. Notice, because we have this layer interacting with this layer in multiple ways, not only with the gradient overlay, but also with the blend modes, we have a whole different look. So just by changing that bottom layer, and I'm moving these around because I'm experimenting, to be honest with you, what does what? So know that you can deal with the underlying layer. That kind of let the blue come through, which is pretty nice. And you can have a whole new look to your imagery than you had before. And you can do that with gradient overlay. You can make your own libraries, if you recall, and have a lot of fun. Okay, there you have it.